I was camping by myself in the summer of 2019. My campsite was located in one of the camping grounds of the state forest. Because of this, there were other campers sleeping nearby. Luckily, I was able to book a campsite that was a few miles away from the main camping grounds. There were only about 4 other campsites where mine was located. I had just finished eating lunch when it started to get dark. Looking at the cloudy sky and the strong gusts of wind, I knew that it was going to rain soon, and I was right. I didn't trust the campfire, so I quickly put it out with some water before taking shelter back into my tent. It first started off as a sprinkle. Then the rain soon turned into a full shower. A few hours had passed, and the rain was still pouring, as heavy as ever. I was so bored that I eventually fell asleep. My sleep was disturbed by the sound of my tent being opened. Alarmed, I yelled at it, demanding to know what they were doing. But as soon as I did that, the zipper suddenly stopped. By that time, my door was partially opened, to the point where a basketball could be fitted through the door. I quickly got up and zipped my door shut once again. Right after I had zipped the door, I heard the sound of kids laughing in front of my tent. Must have been one of the neighboring campers' kids messing with me, or so I thought. I quickly grabbed my flashlight and unzipped the door window to see who it was. Not seeing anyone, I went to each side of my tent, opening all the windows to get a better view of my surroundings. Shining my flashlight like a maniac, trying to find my prey. I didn't see anyone. All that there was in the dark forest was the sound of laughing children running off into the distance. I decided to zip shut the windows of my tent and go back to sleep. But instead of sleeping, I decided to stay up a little, just in case they came back and tried to mess with me again. I wanted to catch the pranksters and have a little word with them. I sat in my tent, quietly waiting for someone to come by. After a few minutes, I heard the children laughing once again. And again, there was someone in front of my tent trying to open my door. Without a moment to lose, I quickly grabbed my flashlight and stepped outside as fast as I could, trying to catch the pranksters. Once again, shining my light like a maniac. Nothing at all. I couldn't find them, but I heard the laughters running into the next campsite. Having enough of these pranks, I decided to walk to the other campsite to talk with their parents. The entire camping ground was filled with complete darkness. I imagine that everyone must have went to bed because of the rain. I followed the laughter to the first campsite, but as soon as I got there, I heard the laughters running to the other campsite. Because I did not know which campsite the children belonged to, I decided to follow them until I could be sure. As soon as I got to the second campsite, the laughter quickly ran to the last campsite, and once again I followed. When I got there, the laughters had disappeared. By this time, I was a bit annoyed. I was thinking to myself that tomorrow I am going to have to talk to the neighboring campers and get their kids to stop bothering the other campers. Unable to catch them, I decided to head back to my campsite. I finally got back to my tent. I was still a bit tired due to the children interrupting my sleep, and the walking didn't help either. I kept thinking about the children, and that only made me angrier. I kept thinking those kids were very disrespectful. It wasn't long before I heard the children coming towards my tent once again. I got my flashlight and prepared myself to jump out and grab them. Then suddenly, I realized I was so focused on catching those kids that I hadn't noticed. All the campsites around me were empty.